It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing when you let your nuts hang.
Hi, I am Shalon. I am a stand-up comedian, Monique's oldest son. Um, I guess I felt the need to make this video to just provide some context into this false narrative about her praying to the universe. I need her to reconcile our relationship or whatever the hell it is. I wrote it all down so that way I don't go all over the place and get emotional or anything like that. So I'm gonna talk like I'm reading a script, but it's just gonna help me kind of stay together. But to address the Club Cashapp interview that she did, where she states that she prays to the universe in regards to reconciling our relationship, as I stated, is odd. My mother and I both know that that is a very false narrative, and I would like to free her of having to continue telling that lie. Faith without work is dead, and neither one of us cares to put forth any effort to reconcile with the other. We are separate, as she put it, because she doesn't care to be my mother any more than I care to be her son. Neither one of us has had the desire to reach out to the other in a very long time, and I don't think that either of us anticipates that feeling ever returning. Speaking with my mother directly, in my experience, will either lead to some odd newfound moment of clarity in regards to how she was as my mother, or she retreats back to daddy to move forward with a conversation. And I'm tired of hearing my mother's truths. Newsflash, I'm not sure if people know, but standing in your truth doesn't make you noble. I'm not sure if people are aware of that. But responding this way, I feel as though it allows me to say my piece uninterrupted. To those wondering, well, why say something now? Call it a form of therapy for me, I suppose. But when her daddy had intentionally stated that they have 3 sons, but his wife is on the internet talking about the 4th son in a video that has millions of views, that rubbed me the wrong way. But anyway, to inform a child that you are not interested in being a mother at a time when that kid is the only kid that has the potential to lead a child to believe that you are not interested in them specifically. But to take it a step further, you also admit, my mother had also admitted to me that she didn't do the best job that she could do, which would also make one begin to question, all of your past decisions and prior emotional interactions. But to be completely honest and fair, those were things that I was willing to get over. Nobody's perfect, we're all human, but my mother showed a clear lack of humility, compassion, and consideration when taking any level of accountability for those things. My mother does a fantastic job of acknowledging a lot of things, but she doesn't take accountability very well, and anything that she may take true accountability for, it's only at her convenience, in my experience. But if I had to guess, though, her interest in being a mother probably started around the time that she married her daddy and had his children. But that interest, obviously seemed one-sided, and as it should have been. By that time, I'm in my late teens, so to some degree, the neglect becomes easier to hide or validate, I guess you could say. There are now 2 baby boys in the house, that require attention. But still, during that time, however, I still watched her enjoy the love and admiration of total strangers more than my own. To this very day, my mother has never expressed to me when, if ever, she became interested in me as her son. That did lead me down a path of questioning my self-worth and struggling to understand the value of a mother in a child's life. In the interview, she also states that she gave me an apology, but an apology to a son from a mother that consciously showed no interest in him holds no weight. There are still women to this day that my mother will give credit to for being more of a mother to me than she ever could. Her assistant, my cousin, being one of them. Every time, though, that my mother would state that she was right here whenever I was ready. That ideology still blows my mind today, that a person could openly admit to being an uninterested, not put my best foot forward type of parent, and be so self-centered that they still express to the kid, you have to come to me when you're ready. You got to come to me for us to make this right. Okay. But I'm not sure what my mother could possibly think that she has shown me in the past or have for me now that's not money, goodness gracious, that would make me want to come to her, or whatever those feelings are supposed to be. A mother is supposed to be the first woman that a boy falls in love with. I loved my mother very much, but my mother loved things more than she loved me, and she would validate her love for me by giving me things, and would proceed to call me ungrateful or inconsiderate if said things did not have the desired effect. I couldn't imagine what it's like to be her, though, to ask God for what you want, and then he gives you what you need, though, only for you to ignore it and have the audacity to ask God for something else. And I'm glad I don't. I'm glad I didn't do that. And when he told you no, you went to the universe instead. By no means, though, do I want to give off any type of an impression that I am a victim of anything. That's not the case. As you can see, I'm smiling from ear to ear. I'm alive. I'm happy. I'm a dad. I'm healthy, I think. I drink a lot of water. I'm getting over a cold now. I still have my days just like everybody else. And, there were a few things that she did teach me along the way. I did learn how not to love from my mother. I also learned to make sure that I never lose so much of who I am that I have to validate it through another person. And though I feel as though, in hindsight, I think she did it reluctantly, I do appreciate my mother, for showing me what the top of the mountain looks like. You know what I'm saying? It did give me perspective on what hard work and dedication can get you, but I don't want something like that at the cost of giving up something that I created. I don't want it that bad. And speaking of creations, I genuinely, truly, I really did want my mother to have a relationship with my daughter. I even fought through those intrusive thoughts that were, if she wasn't interested in you, what makes you think she's going to be interested in your kid? But it took my mother no time at all to prove that those intrusive thoughts were correct. But what I can say, good for her, the universe did, bless her with three other sons. And God willing, I'm sure that all three of them are adults now. So I'm sure that one of them, God willing, if not all three of them, will make her the grandmother that she wants to be. I still look forward, to that moment for her. But overall, when it comes to the boys, though, I am happy that whenever they do hear me talk, sorry, my phone did something weird, but whenever they hear me talk, they don't know what it is. They can't relate to what it is that I'm saying. My experience with my mother is not their experience with our mother. So my prayer for her and them is that they continue to see her the way that they see her now. I do also want to make sure that I say thank you to my mother for giving me life. Without that moment in time, I wouldn't have had my little one. But outside of that moment, there isn't anything that either of us has to offer the other. In my opinion, it's a waste of God's time and the universe's time for praying for something that you are not willing to put forth any effort to obtain. Putting the work into becoming Monique is more important to my mother than being my mother. And I do not believe that it was never about her being there and waiting for me, but it was supposed to be about me being there and waiting for her. My mother's value had reached such a low point in my life that I no longer found it necessary to either want to wait for her or even go to her. But like I said, man, I'm super grateful that she has the opportunity to do it all over again. I'm happy for her. I hope the Cat Williams tour goes well, but the narrative that she prays for us to reconcile is a false narrative. It's not real, and I'd appreciate it if she stopped saying stuff like that.
There was Instagram that was put up, or I guess?
It was TikTok, baby.
TikTok that was put up by?
My son. My oldest son, Shalon. And this is what I want to say to this. There are some people that are saying, oh, you should be ashamed of your mothering skills. You should be ashamed of yourself. This is what I'll say. Let's let it play out. Because the same ones that said to me, I was crazy, I was deranged, we watched it play out. So just like with my son, we'll watch this play out. And I do want to address this though, Shalon. When you say her daddy, then that's when mommy gonna say stop playing, because you know this has been Uncle Sid your whole life. Uncle Sid knew you before you knew you. So for you to say her 3 sons, yes, you're absolutely right. He has 3 sons. He can't claim you as his son because he's always been Uncle Sid, and he knows your daddy very well.
And love that brother. And the irony of all of this is not what is said, but what's left off.
Yes.
See, you're leaving off the fact that the last time we laid eyes on you, your mother got you everything you needed for the newborn baby about 3 years ago. You're forgetting about how I, from Georgia, am talking you through getting your car after we gave you the half of the down payment for it, and you were 31 years of age, 32 years of age at that point, and I'm negotiating the deal with the dealer for you as you sit there. And you have the vehicle you're driving right now because of your mother. These are the things that you're leaving out when you're expressing what you're expressing in reference to your mother. You're not expressing the relationship that you have with your father, where you spoke ill to him, not to mention spoke ill to your mother, but somehow your mother and father and I all have a loving relationship and communicate back and forth because of the love that we have for you. The one thing these individuals, and to the individuals out here that oftentimes speak after they've heard one side of the story, there's an old saying, believe half of what you see and none of what it is that you hear. Please don't take our word for it, but what we will convey is this. Those who are parents and have raised their parents up to being adults.
The children. Raise their children up to being adults.
Right on. Those who are parents that raise their children into adulthood know that there comes a time and a place in which they determine their own decisions, their own path. You can have multiple children that are raised in one house, but they act and they take on different things.
What it do, everyday people, man? It's your boy PJ. Today we back with another lit video. We back in the confessional. Yes, we stay in lit, big dog, man. Shout out to my everyday people who rock with me every day. Shout out to my homeboy Lucky Wizard Deals. Check out his YouTube channel. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe to this video down below. Hit the description and the link in the description, HiveMindLabs.com. Use the discount code everydaypj, man. Let's get into the video. Now, let's talk about Shalon. Shalon, I'm glad he wrote that out, but it seemed kind of sassy. I'm glad he got a son, but man, I'm telling you, just something about this, I was just like, he got to be the black sheep. Like, he got to be the kid that went off on Monique when he was younger and all the way into their adulthood. Like, I'm not saying this man is innocent. He didn't say he was innocent because he said, don't look at me like the victim. But he's also saying that he has a strained relationship that with his mom that they're not trying to reconcile. And she's not trying to reconcile. And she never felt him love. And I don't know. I don't know if she showed him love. That's not for me to really determine. I'm not going to call her a bad mother. I'm just going to say they have a dysfunctional relationship. There's a lot of miscommunication. And a lot of that is when kids, kind of step out of bounds and they think, oh, you treat me this way. You treat these kids this way. And Uncle Sid, oh, Lord have mercy. I wasn't ready for that one. But anyway, he did state that Monique, Tell him about a time that Monique did something for him that wasn't monetary. What did Monique and Daddies do? They went on right on here and told him about stuff they did for him monetarily. Like, y'all didn't pay attention to the TikTok? Obviously, y'all didn't even know what platform it came on. Then my next point is, this Uncle Sid, he knew you as Uncle Sid all the time. Now you over here calling him daddy. And then why would he refer to you as his son? My stepson. Easy. I'm a bonus dad. You have your real dad. We could work together. We want to work to make you better. But Uncle Sid, you marry Uncle Sid? That's crazy, Monique. That's crazy. You done messed this man up by doing that. Then you got the 3 sons. That don't matter. Like, if you showed them love because they was in the house, I bet they were well-to-do. I bet all the kids was well-to-do. Shalon was the only one that seemed to have to go through the struggle with you, even though probably wasn't long, because if he's 34, 35, I can remember Monique doing comedy when I was a kid. So she's been doing this over the road, and that's why he said his aunt or his cousin or aunt is more of a mother figure, because she was always on the road and he had to be with the mother. And I remember a stand-up where she was talking about her having her son in the dressing room with her and stuff like that. So I know for a fact he's went on the road with her when he was younger. Okay? But I think also Monique showed him a different kind of love. And it wasn't the love that he wanted. It wasn't the love from her father. And it kind of messed him up. There was another point that they made. Oh, buying the gifts. Okay, that's monetary, Monique. You didn't even listen. Buying the baby gifts. But did you call the baby? Did you check on the baby? When the baby got sick, was you there? Did he call you when the baby got sick? See, that's when my kids are sick. Besides their mom or my mom or their other grandmother, that's who I'm calling. Like, I don't get it. Like, what are y'all actually doing? My daughter woke up sick. All these kids was throwing up about a month ago. Everybody's kid just had this virus. I didn't know what to do. My mom helped me. Then her mom helped me. So that's what we mean. What are y'all doing that's non-monetarily for him? Then you say, you paid half the down payment for his car. Yeah, that's true, because he needed help. But when it's like, I guess helping him negotiate the car, that's one thing that you can help non-monetarily. But then you seen he needed a bigger down payment, so y'all offered to pay the rest of it. So that made y'all feel like y'all superior or whatever to whatever it is that he's doing. It's kind of a God complex to your son, and it's kind of foul. Like, what have you done? Like, did you say we invited you to Thanksgiving? Did you say we invited you to Christmas? Did you say we called you on your birthday? Nope. Did you say we called you over to watch the Super Bowl? Any of that will be helpful to this situation. But the fact that you go to what you bought him kind of proves his point. I don't see you taking accountability. Now you blaming him. Instead of being like, you know what? I had some. See, you gotta open up, Monique. You closed up in front of the camera, but you might open up in the when nobody's looking. You might open up, and then you come on here and place blame on everybody else instead of taking accountability, knowing that you probably wasn't the best mom, knowing that you knew he felt this way. But instead of taking accountability, you want to make him look bad. You want to make yourself look good. I ain't feeling it. Monique, you should have just canned this response. This the one we didn't need, because you didn't take accountability. But whatever. What do I know? I'm just a father. Anyway, everyday people, let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'ma holler at you later. Peace.
Day and night. For some women, it can start working in as fast as 1 week.